Hi guys, I feel like I have been MIA on this platform for quite a while. I think the last video we posted was early last summer. So I just wanted to hop on here and give y'all sort of a life update, let you know some things that have been going on in our life and kind of just share what's keeping us busy these days and some of our current routine. Since last summer, some exciting things have happened in my family. A couple of my siblings got married. One of Ben's siblings got married. And so there've been lots of weddings and that's been super fun, just getting to see family from out of town. In November, we found out that we are expecting, and so we are overjoyed. We are so excited. Summer 2025 cannot get here soon enough. We are looking forward to meeting this sweet little one that God has blessed us with. This past November, our oldest, Spurgeon, he turned 9 years old, and I cannot believe he is that old already. Time is flying by. Also in November, Ben and I celebrated 10 years of marriage, which is so hard to believe. I cannot believe we've been married an entire decade. And then in December, our baby George, he turned 1 year old. We celebrated his first birthday with family, and that was so much fun. So that's a little catching you up to speed where we are in life. I just want to share a couple of things about our current routine and some things that we're doing. First of all, in 2024, a huge shift for me was that I started working out. And so when I was 6 weeks postpartum, that would have been February, I started with a workout program with a personal trainer and a workout app, and that has been so helpful for me. First time I've ever been consistent with sticking with a workout routine and all of that, and I've just felt so much better, like my health and more invigorated and more energy and all the things. Not to mention when I'm working out, I feel like I don't want to waste all that work, and so I also am more motivated to eat well and snack well. So I've been keeping up with that. And actually in this pregnancy, this is the first time that I have ever really worked out in pregnancy. And so that's been going well. I definitely slacked off in the first trimester. Didn't have a ton of energy, was very tired, didn't feel good, was sick, nauseous. But once I hit the second trimester, tried to dive back into that. And so I'm on about 2 months now of working out pretty consistently. Not 5 days a week like I was doing. It's more like 3 days a week, but still it's better than nothing. And I'm happy to be able to stick with that routine. Something that I also started changing this last year in 2024 was trying to get in a routine of waking up before my kiddos. So I've never been great at that. For one, I usually end up having like a nursing baby in bed in the mornings, and it's kind of a slow start to the day. Rarely have I been up and had my morning going before my kiddos. I'm not even really sure how it all started, but I just know that one week I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up. And I started getting up about an hour before my kids. There have definitely been days or even weeks at a time where I've fallen back out of this pattern, but it's something that I actually have enjoyed and look forward to. And so it's something that I'm always trying to get back into. So yeah, wake up an hour before the kids, and this is my time to have kind of that me time, quiet time to get in the Word, read my Bible. And I also have a stack of books beside my bed that are just books I'm trying to work through. So I'll also spend maybe 15 or 20 minutes just reading from one of these other books that are in my book list, and I can share some of those titles with you. I'm reading several different books right now from several different categories. One is sort of just a spiritual encouragement type of book. It's titled Consider the Lilies, and this has been a great book. It's on the topic of anxiety and worry and approaching that from a biblical perspective. This has been excellent. I'm reading through this with another lady from my church, and we're meeting together once a week on a Tuesday afternoon and just discussing what we're learning from that. So that's been awesome. Another title I've been reading is Growing Together, and this is a book on mentorship and discipleship, and so it's also super helpful just for cultivating deeper relationships with women in my life. And the third book that I'm reading is a homeschooling book called Know and Tell, and so as my kids are reading their history and their literature and whatnot, this is just helpful for them to be able to retell to me what they're learning and to ensure that they're really grasping it and getting a good handle on the curriculum. This morning time has really been game changer for me. I don't feel like I'm in a rush. I have plenty of time to just be in the Word and refresh my soul before my day gets started. If I'm really on my A game, I'll also try to get my workout done before the kids are up. I will say that doesn't always happen. A lot of times I'm doing that over nap time in the afternoon. One of my favorite things about my workout time, it usually lasts about 25 to 35 minutes. I can't say that I always feel like working out, but one big motivator in that is I always love the content that I get to take in during my workout. Sometimes I'll turn on an audiobook. Usually it's a podcast. And my favorite podcast right now is the Now That We're a Family podcast. And I can put a link to that below. But I love their content. They're just such an awesome couple. I love their relationship. I love their energy. I love how they interact with one another. They're so sweet. It's really cool because they're in a very similar season of life to my husband and I. And so as they're talking through things, their kids are about the same ages, and I'm just able to process a lot of things that are going on in our own life, in our own home, a lot of questions or things that I am already thinking through. A couple other podcasts that I really enjoy is the M is for Mama podcast, and also the Church and Family Life podcast. And so I'll link those below as well. Lots of great content. I love having a couple different options at my fingertips that I can easily just scroll through and pick something that's interesting to me, and it kind of motivates me as I'm doing my workout. Okay, so now for a little bit of like our weekly routine. I will say we are busier now in this season than we've ever been as far as like going and doing. Usually on Sundays, it's a very full day just with church and all of that. Mondays, we're usually going to my family's in the evening for family night and hanging out with all of the cousins and aunts and uncles. My kids love that time. It's such a fun time for them. Tuesdays, our boys are a part of the Trail Life program. It's kind of like Boy Scouts. And so they have their Trail Life meetings on Tuesday nights, and they thoroughly enjoy this. They're always telling me about something new that they learned, showing me how to tie a new knot with their paracord or something like that. So they have really enjoyed being a part of this activity. And it's really cool because it's something that they get to do with Ben. They're getting that great father-son bonding time, which is so special for them. On Wednesdays, we have started back with swim lessons. The boys are both very proficient swimmers. They're good at that. And so they aren't doing swim lessons this year, but both of the girls are in swim lessons. So we're back at that. Wednesday and Thursday mornings, one of our kiddos has speech therapy. And so we're taking them to that. And then Fridays is piano lessons. So at the beginning of this last school semester in August, our 3 oldest kids started taking piano lessons, and they are loving it. It's been so much fun to see their enthusiasm as they're picking up on it. I can tell certain ones are very good at playing by ear, and so they're always trying to pick out a tune on the piano. Anyway, all that to say, I know I had made a video last year and I was talking about how all my kids were in swim, and this was like our one big outing of the week, and how I didn't like leaving the house more than one day a week if I didn't have to for just like extracurricular stuff. But life gets busy. And so now literally every weekday we are having to leave the house for something, and that's fine. It's just the season that we're in, and I hope it doesn't last too long. I do love being home. But anyway, with all that busyness, I feel like we've tried to be more creative this year to find those moments to come together as a family and to connect. And usually the most organic way to do that is just to connect over mealtime, to make that more of an affair, more of an ordeal. And so we have tried to get a little more fancy with our breakfasts and our dinners. And so we don't hit every single morning. I would say we get breakfast together most mornings as a family. And so that has been a blessing. We've kind of shifted our family devotions to mornings. So when we're together around the breakfast table after everybody's eaten, Ben will open up the Bible and read. And usually we'll do some of our catechism and hymn sing and scripture and all that kind of stuff around the breakfast table. And that's just helped us to really get that time in and for it not to get lost, because I feel like we used to try to do that after dinner, but we aren't always having dinner together every single night. And so then we've been missing more days of family devotions. And so having it around the breakfast table has just helped us to incorporate that and make it a little easier to hit most days of the week. So that's been a blessing. Growing up, both of our families had pretty big numbers. And so a lot of times I feel like you have, big dishes and big pots. And so you're just kind of serving food off, buffet style. And I feel like that can make for a lot of running back and forth from the table, because by the time I sit down to eat, one of the kids is done. And can I have seconds of this? And then you're running back and forth. Something that we've tried to do more of is actually putting the food into a serving dish. And I know it creates more dishes, makes a little bit more of a mess, but putting the food on the table and getting to practice passing the dishes around. The kids absolutely love it. They feel so fancy doing this. They're like, are we gonna have one of our fancy dinners? And that basically just means serving the food from the table. We actually got some new dinner plates and some fancier silverware. And so those are the ones that we use for our family meals around the table, and the kids Absolutely love it. We have an untraditional day for our weekend, I feel like. Monday is our family day. It's Ben's day off of work. He works Tuesday through Sunday. I guess one of the perks about having Monday off is if we ever go out and do something as a family, like if we go to the park, it's not crowded, or if we go to a coffee shop or a restaurant, usually the crowds are at a minimum, which is nice. I feel like when you go out with a big family on a Friday or Saturday, it can take forever to get a table for 7 people. And so it is nice that on Mondays, generally everything is not very busy. So that's been a blessing. But I will say it has been an adjustment for me. We've been on this routine now for a while. This is not new to us. We've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years, taking Mondays off as our family day. It really threw me when we started doing it though, because growing up, I was just accustomed to my dad would take off Saturdays and that was our family day. We would do fun stuff together, go on bike rides or go to the park or whatever, go get ice cream. And so in my mind, it's so ingrained, like I wake up on Monday and I know that it's like our family day, it's Ben's day off, but I would think that it was Saturday. And so I have to share a funny story. One Monday, I woke up and I was like, all right, kids, it's the weekend, let's go to the playground. So we went down the street to a school playground. Totally in my mind, I literally 100% thought it was Saturday. And I saw some cars out in the parking lot and I was like, oh, maybe they're just having some type of a meeting or something like that. So the kids were out on the playground. This must have been 4 years ago. I think I had 3 kiddos at the time. And they were all playing on the playground, having a great time. And all of a sudden I saw the doors open and kids rush out for recess. And then it hit me in that second. I was like, oh my goodness, this is Monday. Kids are literally in school. And so I had to grab my kids so fast and hightail it out of there. I was mortified. To my credit, I have not made the same mistake twice, but I was so embarrassed. I was like, how could I literally think this was Saturday? Anyway, that's how crazy it is whenever you switch your weekend to a weekday. I called Ben right away and I was like, you will never believe. I was so embarrassed, but we all had a good laugh. So that's it, kind of like our weekly routine and just pattern. And I would like to do another video soon, specifically just like a baby update video, talking about the pregnancy, how all of that's going, birth plan, and if we're gonna do a gender reveal and all those things. Stay tuned for that video coming up soon. But I'm gonna wrap this one up here, so I will catch y'all next time.